We have something called aggregate planning, as this is a mid-term process generally conducted over 1 year, which is conducted with determining the monthly or quarterly production requirements for our various product groups. So basically, you have different product groups, and you will have a plan which will capture product A, product B, product C, and you will see for different months in the 12th month over the year how much of these products are needed. And you saw how we're doing it with the PP. PP equals forecasted demand plus SS, safety stock, minus stock on hand. You can use it to produce aggregate planning, but this plan actually will be, will be impacting on all the parties you are involved with, like the marketing, the finance, all the different groups. Okay? Aggregate planning usually concerns standardized products that could be made for stock. Poor planning might always lead to unfortunate consequences. Aggregate planning objectives: better estimation of resources, like proposed production rates, workforce levels, all these things, which you can estimate of resources, can be done better if you address the following: what product groups are required, what labor training may be needed, planning periods to be used. If you address these questions, then you will be in a much better position to estimate your resources requirements. Aggregate planning strategies, there are two. One is called level capacity strategy, and the other is called matching demand strategy. The level capacity strategy, this is, say, you have stable production. So you produce the same amount every month, right? Stable production and buffer stock. Okay, you have a buffer stock in the store, but you have the same team with the same resources. They produce the same quantity every month. This is one strategy. But there's some months some of the months they're higher demand. So what do? You use your buffer stock to do this. The advantage of this is that your team doesn't change. It's the same team, it's the same resources. Now, the other one is matching demand strategy. This is as the market demand is fluctuating, you are changing, you are firing and hiring employees, resources. So if your demand is high, you need to hire more people. If demand is low, you need to fire people. And so it is, try to match the demand. This is very, it has its own problems. So, okay. Aggregate plans for services, we don't have anything as such, because you cannot actually, services may have strong seasonal demand, like tourism, as they have no buffer stock, to cope with fluctuations. But what you do is you make arrangements with people, like in tourism, they are prepared in case they're additional season or higher season, that you can invite them. But they need to be trained properly, so they will join as soon as they are needed. Their master production scheduling. A master schedule must consider not only total demand on organization resources, but also capacity capabilities. I already told you about this, that we don't look only at demand. We look also at the capabilities of our machinery, and the capacity of our machines. So you need to look at this, so both together, they will give you the ability to match the demand. MRP, we already talked about this, is systems which look after the material requirement planning. They don't use them anymore. ERP systems have replaced them. MRP2, also not used anymore. ERP is replaced. ERP concept, already mentioned to you that ERP system is an information system that integrates all the business functions, automates all business processes. ERP system, one of the value of ERP systems is that it gives you the opportunity to re-engineer your business processes or to improve them in the preparation phase. Okay, now we go to topic 9 is workforce management, and this is basically about restructuring. Okay, sometimes your organization might restructure. You know what this means? That you have, for example, different layers. You have operators, middle management, senior management. Some organizations, they have many layers, like a hierarchy, pyramid, right? And some of them, they have only 2 layers. But the, organizations can be either hierarchical or vertical, or they can be horizontal or flat. So there is a trend to go for flat organizations. In that case, you need teams, good teams to work together, because you have management, then team leaders, and then the rest of it will be members of teams working. So if you have good teams, flat organization is much better than vertical organizations or hierarchical organizations. Because hierarchical organizations and vertical organizations, actually they tend to have reporting problems. You know, if you have a problem as an operator, it will take ages until it reaches senior management. The bigger hierarchical structure is the military. Organization structure develop over time, so sometimes with the changes taking place, you might need to introduce new layers or to take some layers. Sometimes to reward your employees, you know, you create a layer just to give them a title, yeah? To say you're a section manager or you are unit managers. So you'll find that in time that, you know, the layers will increase, and this will make it difficult in terms of reporting system. Okay? Restructuring is may occur as a result of significant changes in the operating environment, including assigning a new CEO. The goals of restructuring include the following: supporting operational processes, improving staff satisfaction, enhancing staff capacity, facilitating more efficient and effective customer service. So sometimes you do restructuring, i.e. adding layers, reducing layers, you know, for this following reasons. Increasing an organization's ability to respond to future changes. When do you restructure? When there's a significant change in your organization mission or strategy or vision or objectives. Also when the current structure consists of too many levels that present barriers to efficiency and communication. Also when there's a need to identify resources and already deploy them in new and expanded services. The move to horizontal organizations, we're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm boring you to death, but this is not my game. We need to do it. Because we were delayed, you know, in the morning. Huh? It's the HR. Very good. So we'll push, you know, fast. Okay, so if you are familiar with HR, you've done HR, so you'll see that horizontal organizations and flat organizations something been, you know, a trend. But with this, you need to have good teams, and you have to have empowerment. So team leaders will be empowered to make decisions rather than to go to different management. Okay, there are two different types of in Chinese. Change is associated with two characters. One of them is danger and one is opportunity, O and D. For most project leaders and business managers are not, unsurprisingly, O type. They are opportunities. They look at opportunities. While end users always, you know, cynical and skeptical, and they feel threatened, so they off type D. You know, they assume that there's danger in things. Types of change. Change includes radical change, incremental change, business processes, procedure, new roles and responsibilities, organizational restructuring. All kinds of different change might be introduced to your organization. And dangers of restructuring. Organizational restructuring in this way may raise threat of elimination of some supervisory or middle role. So sometimes you take layers out, and this will cause problems because some people will be not feeling good with titles taken away from them, or because sometimes if you introduce a layer, they will be introduced with more responsibilities to handle. So always end users, you know, will be, or employees will be complaining. With flat organizations, very important to have teams. So you have team characteristics. Good teams need to have common commitment. You know, they have to have shared leadership roles. They have to have performance measures to reflect collective work products. And they have to have great reliance on open-ended discussions. And people doing the work together rather than delegating support. So quality of teams in making sure that they work in harmony, you know, and achieving the goals. There are different types of teams or things which look like teams. We have working group. This is not really a team. There's just people working together. There's pseudo team. The pseudo team is something which looks like a team, but it's not a team. Potential team, it's a team but with a potential, but they're not really you know, getting the real outcome of a good team. And then you have real team and you have high performance team. So you need, if you have flat organization or if you're restructuring, you need to go to, you know, target real teams and have higher performance teams. Productivity important. Yeah. it is a function, productivity is a function of many factors ranging from organization structures to machine maintenance regimes, but also human elements of workforce management are also linked to that. Three things, again, about teams. We have individual competencies. This is what your skills and your expertise as an individual, sometimes gained through experience, sometimes through doing training and qualification. And also you have team competencies, and this is how the total team together, have certain skills and competencies to work together, and this will contribute to have an overall organizational competency. Team competency, organizational, job design, job specialization and satisfaction. Today many organizations have high performance. I leave this. Methods of increasing job satisfaction include cross-training. Cross-training is training people in areas which are not specific to their roles, maybe to their colleagues. Like I said, in the lean manufacturing, the Japanese, they get people to be multitasking. Like, they have a main task, but they know they can cover for their colleagues, and they can wear different hats. Also, job enlargement, giving more bigger scope. Job enrichment, adding important features and added to the job, and team production. Empowering is very important with teams and also with service delivery, as we said earlier. Improving operations can come through incremental improvement or radical breakthrough improvement. It is wise to have cyclic changes between periodic, between incremental and radical. So sometimes you have a radical change by implementing a system, then certain incremental changes by improving business processes or by training people, and then you go through another radical change. And this is the way it should go. Okay, we leave this. Now the last part is simple, and I don't want to take it through this. Maybe I just quickly tell you that there are different types of maintenance. Since we have all these equipments and machinery used in our production line, so to be able to produce, we need a reliable machines. To be reliable, it's like your car. You need to maintain it, either preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance is about regularly servicing this every 6 months, every 1,000 or 10,000 kilometers. And this, like human beings, when they regularly go and have a checkup or take vitamins or whatever. Okay? There's also total productive maintenance. We have also risk management, can also play a role. If you make an assessment of all the equipment which you are using in your production line, you'll find which ones are the most critical by doing some risk assessment. So you will see that in case this, maybe you will have a spare, this equipment might have a backup just in case it breaks down, that's another one will be installed. Disaster recovery. And then we have, risk management is done through calculation of severity and probability factors to give you an overall risk level, to decide what equipment are, more critical than the others. We have also failure mode effect analysis, which can help you to also do your risk analysis in equipment. We have preventive maintenance, as I suggested, with inspections. We have also breakdowns. We have breakdowns. So machines do break down, like cars sometimes. You have reliability and production system. This is some type of maintenance approaches which have been introduced by John Mowbray. It's called RCM, or Reliability Centered Maintenance. This is to ensure that the basis for doing our service and maintenance program is based on making sure that our equipment and machinery in the production line are reliable and available all the time. Okay? Equipment and spare parts. So you need, and parts replacement, you need to have all spare parts which related to the critical equipment available in your stores. To combine maintenance. You can combine maintenance strategies like preventive maintenance, condition-based maintenance. Condition-based maintenance, actually I was talking to Asil today, it is about judging the condition of the different equipment or assets. If there are civil assets, then you'll be looking at the cracks and the scaling and these things, and you will know what conditions they are in. And accordingly, you can apply the different services or maintenance programs. Alternatively, if it is mechanical equipment, then you will be checking the vibration, the temperature, and other things which are indicative, like warning signals of a possible breakdown. So again, you can have preventive rather than or detective maintenance rather than breakdown. And you have run to breakdown. Some of the machinery we say it costs us too much to maintain or service, so let them run until they break down. These assets which are like meters, things which are not very expensive, like meters and meter, you know the meters for electricity and things. Yeah, rather than maintain them or inspect them and do all these things, you just run them until they break down and they don't work anymore. So this is a strategy acceptable also. Run to breakdown or run to failure. We have also a concept called total productive maintenance. It is very similar to quality. We finished, by the way, lady. Hello? We're going to have a group photo. You are running away. We've done, finished. Total, I think we've done. Thank you very much. Any questions? It is a big challenge to cover all this in one day. Yes. Yeah, we can ask Hisham because this.
He's not available.
Okay, no problem. But I will ask them, and you could also remind Hisham.
Okay, and also tell them about the case study.
Yes, yes.
We want it to be from your side.
No, I cannot. I'm not allowed to do that. So
You can't ask them to send us the material.
I can ask.